Hey guys, welcome to the Catway. So in this video we are going to talk about HCF and LCM. Before I begin, I would like to thank all the people who have joined us. Our Facebook group link is there in the description below. Now let's roll in for the video. So before I begin, I would assume that each and every one of you knows how to find a HCF and LCM. So we will begin from the point after that. So the first thing which we are going to discuss is how to find the HCF or LCM of a fraction. Okay, so let's say if we have to find the HCF of two or more fractions. Okay, two or more fractions. So what we will have is, what we have to do is, we have to find the HCF of numerator and we have to find the LCM of denominator. Okay, so a very simple step, you have to find the HCF of numerator and the LCM of denominator. Now let's say if you have to find the LCM of two or more fractions. Okay, so in this case what you do is, you take the LCM of numerator and you divide it by HCF of denominator. Okay, so a very simple procedure. Now one thing which is to be kept in mind is that reduce the fraction into the simplest form and then only apply these formulas. Okay, so reduce the fraction into the simplest form. Okay, now let's talk about a specific form. Let's say you have to find the HCF of a to the power m minus 1, a to the power, sorry, not a to the power m minus 1, it will be a to the power m and minus 1. Okay, and a to the power n minus 1. Okay, so what will be the answer? The answer will be a to the power HCF of m and n and minus 1. So this will be your answer. Okay, Asha, one more thing is there, that HCF multiplied by LCM is equal to product of two numbers. Okay, so this is one thing. Now let's move towards few LCM models. Okay, LCM models. The first one says that any number which, when, remember the word when divided by, so this is the important thing, when divided by P, Q and R leaves the same remainder, in each case the number will be of form K into LCM of P, Q and R and plus S. Let's say this was the value of S, the same remainder, the remainder which was S. So your answer will be, that means your number will be of the form K into LCM of P, Q, R plus S. Okay, so this is your form. Now let's move to the second form, again a LCM model. So what we have is any number which, when divided by PQR, okay, leaving remainder of S, T and U, that is three different remainders. Okay, so it is leaving three different remainders, but what is going to happen is P minus S is equal to Q minus T is equal to R minus U and all they are equal to V. Okay, the number will be of form K into LCM of PQR minus V. Okay, so this is the form of the number. Okay, so these are two LCM models which we have. Now let's move towards a HCF model. Okay, HCF model. So the largest number, there's only one of them, the largest number with which the numbers p, q, r are divided. Okay, so here for identifying it, it has to be r divided. Okay, there it was being divided by p, q, r. Here p, q and r are getting divided. Okay, so giving remainder of s, t and u. So here the HCF of three numbers would be the HCF of three numbers would be given by the HCF of p minus s, q minus t and r minus u. Okay, this is not a very important one, neither it is heavily asked in exams. The ones asked in exams are the LCM models. Okay, the HCF model is generally not asked in exam because it's a very simple one, so there aren't going to be any direct questions on it. You can expect around one question in at least one of the exams from the LCM models. Okay, they are also easy ones, but a slight need of calculation is there. Okay, and understanding is there. Okay, now let's move towards successive division. What is successive division? In successive division, let me show you. Sorry. What happens is, let's first write the form. Okay, so let's write a question and understand it with the help of that. So the question is, a number when divided by 6 and 4 respectively, leaves remainder of 5 and 2. Okay, so what we do here is we take the when divided by, the part when divided by, and after that whatever the last number we have, we write that number in form of k. That is, the last number is 4, so we write it 4k, and we take the from the remainder, we take the last number and we write it as plus 2. So 4k plus 2. Okay, then we write after that 6 here and plus 5 because this is the remainder. So this is the form of the number. Now let's find the smallest number of this form. So the smallest number of this form would be 6 into k's value we can take as 1. So it will be 4 plus 2 and plus 5. Okay, so what do we have is, let's see, sorry, what we'll do is we multiply 6 with 4k, so we will get 24k plus 12, and we have plus 5, so we have 24k plus 17. So this will be the smallest number that we have. Okay, now the smallest number depends upon what is the value of k you take. Some places we can take it is whatever in the question will be given. In some places it will be given k is equal to 0, then your answer will be 17. If k is equal to 1, then your answer will be 24 plus 1, it would be there. So 24 plus 1, and then 24 plus 17 is 41. Okay, now what mechanism goes into that is, let's check that out. So your number is 41. Okay, so when 41 is divided by 6, now what you will do, you will not go with the last number. This time you will go with the first numbers. Okay, so 6 is the first number when divided by 6. So when the number is divided by 6, the remainder it has to come 5. Let's check it out. So 41 divided by 6, the remainder comes 5. Acha. Now you do not have to divide the remainder. What you have to divide is the quotient. So what is the quotient here? 41 divided by 6 would give me 6. Okay, 6 is the quotient. Now 6 you have to divide it by 4 and you will get the remainder of 2, which was asked in the question. So this is the mechanism of successive division. Questions are asked in this format also. Also they are asked in the format of reverse order, that is, a number would be given and you would be said that this number is divided by 6 and 4. Let's take example. Let's take example and understand it. Let's say it is given that 100 and it is said that it is divided by 7 and 3 respectively and successively. Okay, successively. Then what are the remainders when it is divided by 7 and 3 respectively. Okay, so what you will do is you will take the first number and you will divide the number 100 divided by with this. Okay, what is the remainder will you get? We know 14 sevens are 98, so the remainder would be 2. When divided by 7, the remainder would be 2. Now for 3 you will not divide the remainder, you will divide the quotient. What was the quotient? Quotient came to be 14. So 14 divided by 3 we have to take, so 14 by 3 would give me the remainder 2. So your answer will be that the remainder will be 2 in both the cases when dividing 100 successively by 7 and 3. So this is the mechanism. I hope you've understood this. So thanks for watching the video guys. In the next video, we'll continue with HCF and LCM.